welcome back to Lychee Pink Planner.
Nice to see you,
It's Emma, and on this week's Prattle and Plan, I'm going to be planning for week commencing the 26th of April 2021. Next week, I'm going to go and pay a visit to the tulip fields, and I'm so excited to do that. So this week I am going to be using a combination of a kit from Oodlemadoodles called Le Fleur, and I'm going to be decorating it with some microwaved pressed tulips. Now, I have been asked before, how have I pressed my flowers that I've previously put on other spreads? It's a relatively simple process, but it can go wrong very quickly, okay? So make sure that you take your time and you do it in small intervals, because you can go from having beautifully pressed flowers to burnt flowers very quickly. Now, I'm going to insert some footage of how I do it, but before I insert the footage, you will need some parchment or baking paper, some kitchen roll, you will need your microwavable plate and your microwave, and you will need something that is microwave proof and quite heavy. I personally use a very small ceramic baking tray, and I use that to be able to flatten everything down because you need quite a bit of weight. These particular tulips, they actually only took 2 minutes to go from fresh tulips out of a vase to dried like this, and they will retain their beautiful colour while they go through the microwaving process as well. But you must do it in small bursts, because you can go from beautiful tulips like this to all of a sudden you've got burnt tulips.
On your marks, get set, bake.
First off, you need to arrange them on the parchment paper, allowing for a little bit of space in between them, and just let them kind of like fall where they naturally want to. That may sound odd, but it enables you to be able to press them a lot easier. You will need to apply a large amount of pressure to be able to press the flat flowers down. Once you have flattened the flower down, you then need to ensure that you have a layer of parchment paper in between. So you have kitchen roll, parchment paper, flower, and then parchment paper, and then kitchen roll over the top. Place your heavy dish over the top and give it a really good press, and then get your microwave plate out. Now it's at this stage where you're just going to have to use trial and error, because it's going to depend on the wattage of your microwave and the size of your flowers. For this tulip, I'm going to go in a 1 minute burst initially, and then check, and then come back. It turns out that tulips smell like a jacket potato when they're being dried. Oh dear, it's made me feel a bit hungry now. Remove everything out by the plate, because obviously that will be the coolest surface. You will see here the outline of the plant actually starting to dry out, because you can see the water residue. Now this tulip was very large, and you will know when they are ready, because they'll basically start to feel firm. This still feels very soft. So I'm going to cover it back up, put the microwavable dish on the top, and then keep doing it in 30-second bursts. So you'll know when your flower is ready, because it will still feel a little bit limp, but you will feel that it's certainly firmer. And at this point, I don't want to go any further, because I risk that it will basically burn. And you will find that once you're able to lift it off and there's no stickiness or no tackiness, it's basically done. Put it on the side to finally dry, and there you have your pressed flowers in under 2 minutes. Before I go on to the planning side, I thought I would share with you 10 tulip facts that I did a bit of research on. Oh, before I get into the facts, I just wanted to show you all. Look, how did I forget this? I managed to find this on eBay, and it's a really lovely Harrods highest quality typewriter ribbon. Now, it does have the ribbon inside, but unfortunately, it's quite knackered. But I just like it for the keepsake value. Cute little tin, and it matches Joan quite well, similar kind of colour. And as promised, Pearl is sitting in the wings waiting for her debut. But anyway, before you meet Pearl and before I spread the rest of this, here's 10, and I put up 5 fingers, here's 10 facts about tulips you probably already knew, but hey, I thought I'd include them. 1. There are over 150 various species of tulips around the world. Fact 2. Fact 2. Tulip colours have different meanings, very, very similar to roses. So, red tulips are said to represent true love, and white tulips are something that you would give to somebody to apologise if you've done something wrong. Fact 3. The tulip is the official symbol of the Parkinson's disease charity. Fact 4. In the 1600s, tulips were more valuable than most people's home. Tulips would cost nearly 10 times the amount of the working man's wage. And in fact, there was a period in the 1600s called tulip mania. Fact 5. Tulips actually only have 3 petals. It's actually 3 petals and 3 sepals. The sepals appear to be the same size and they are the same colour as the petals. 6. Tulips are part of the onion and garlic family. Fact 7. The most sought after tulip colour is a very, very rich, deep purple that almost looks black, and it is called Queen of the Night. Fact 8. The flower is the national flower of not just the Netherlands, it is also the national flower of Turkey and Afghanistan. Fact 9. Is that tulips are also a part of the lily family, and they can seriously harm your dog, cat or horse. And lastly, fact 10. Tulips only bloom for between 3 and 7 days. I'm now going to start doing some planning, and then I will introduce you to Pearl. Now, when I first saw Pearl on a picture, she looked slightly more whiter, and I named her from a distance Pearl. But the strange thing is that now I have Pearl in real life, I actually think she looks slightly more of a sage colour. So I think Pearl may actually end up being renamed Sage. When I bring her over, tell me what you think. Anyway, enjoy. Now, I'm not obviously going to stick the tulips on because they've got to go through the typewriter, and I've learned from in the past, things that are slightly bumpy always go very well through the typewriters. So, Pearl, who I think I'm actually going to rename Sage. And let's just say it now. From now, Sage, because I think it's just a far more appropriate name. And lo and behold, After my post of I don't want a green typewriter, I now have 2 green typewriters. But I love them. Just love them. Right, now let's get on with the typing bit. So I've given my camera a quick burst of charging, and I've finished laminating the flowers, which I'm going to stick on here. Now, if you don't have laminating sheets or a laminator, another way to be able to do it is to just gently lay the flower down and then put some sellotape over it. Be really careful, because obviously the flowers are very delicate, and if you misplace it, you will quite literally rip the flower. Another thing that I have used in the past is cold seal laminating sheets. Now, they don't get them obviously as flat, but they will still do the job. So I'm going to very quickly lay these down, and then I'll be back with you. Nothing got burnt. I think it looks quite pretty, but I hope you like it. And next week I will include some footage of me visiting the fields. I need to say that will include if I get permission, because I have to ask permission if I'm going to use them for any kind of broadcasting. Although I have a very small channel, I still need to ask permission. So fingers crossed there'll be some footage. If not, there'll at least be a couple of pictures on my Instagram. Take care everyone, and happy floral microwave pressing.